both our black neighbors, to support them during civil rights, and then, goddammit, you turned on us.
Wow.
What happened? Black Lives Matter. Who did you hate the most? The Jews. We are bleeding about that.
Wow.
Because we were raised to love you, to care, to open our hearts, and not just, at my dinner table in the projects, in a little 600 square foot apartment for 5 of us, not wealthy.
Yeah.
Blacks were at our table because they were our neighbors. And yet you turned on us. How did that happen? And when we asked some of the black commentators, do most blacks hate Jews? They said, yes, most blacks hate Jews. How did that happen?
Please.
Yes.
So, and you can look this up, the biggest importer of slaves were Jewish people, and they were partly Jewish people in America. It wasn't the Germans. If you look this up,
Because they weren't Germans.
a lot of the ships were Jewish
Probably,
ships.
maybe.
Very true, and you can look this up.
All right, so am I guilty?
No, you're not guilty.
Well,
but I'm painting a picture, okay? So let me explain something to you. So not only were you guys also, you helped with the Underground Railroad, but you also enslaved a lot of blacks. A lot of your ships were Jewish ships. So although sometimes it seems like you're helping us and you're grabbing our hand, at the same time, you've done a lot of bad to us as well. And now what people like to do nowadays, they like to blame everything on you. Like other white races and nationalities, they blame it on you. Like, well, the Jewish people, they own slaves, and a lot of it is put on you. But you guys were also a part of that. A lot of times, a lot of our politicians are Jewish. Democratic politicians are Jewish people.
I'm not a Democrat.
So, no, and it doesn't matter. No, it's not that point. But a lot of Democratic politicians are Jewish people.
Yes, they are.
And what they do, they act like they're holding your hand. We're here to help you. We're here to do this for you,
Well,
the black
what would
people.
you rather do? How would you rather?
Well, this is. I'm just painting a picture. A lot of times, just so you
So
understand.
how? Okay. So my people.
Yeah.
Every country we've ever been in, we've been thrown out of.
Happy Saturday, happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward here bringing you this Negro news. And today I got a doozy for you. So a lady who claims to be of Jewish descent is on a Gullah Geechee tour. And upon this Gullah Geechee tour, she's having a conversation with the other members of the tour. And she starts getting emotional and starts crying. And her claim is that black people, we turn our backs on the Jews after all the Jews have done for us. Those are her claims. Black people turn their backs, Black Americans, us, we turned our backs on the Jews after all that they've done for us, because the claims that the lady is making is the Jews have always been there for us. So the assertion is not only have the Jews always been there for us, but the Jews have always been there for us in mass. And we hate Jews and we turned our back on Jews. So that's her claim. So if you just tuning in, welcome. I am Joseph Ward, and this is On the Shoulders of Giants. Hope this becomes your favorite YouTube channel where we make sure that give you a lot of Black history information, give you the stories of our sung and unsung heroes, but also the psychology around and behind what we're facing in this system of white supremacy. Because I don't want to just give you the history. I want to make sure you get the history with the information that goes with it to help us understand exactly what has happened to us so we can rise above what's going on. And remember, we're not learning history to stay stuck in the past. We're learning history to create a bright future. That's what we're doing over here. So make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share. And I just want to say, I love Black people. Today was a beautiful day. I love black people. I love black people. I got a chance to take my Black History School students to one of the local historic airports today, and they got a chance to fly planes. They got a chance to fly airplanes and learn more about aviation from a black pilot. Shout out to Mr. Clint Cunningham. Shout out to Sam Carter. Shout out to my brother Wallace Ward for setting that up and making it available for the students to be able to fly planes and learn more about the history of aviation from a black lens. So shout out to them for that, right? So get some of these comments. What's up, Chisel Chipper 68? What it is, man? I appreciate you for tuning in straight from Seattle. Y'all hold it down. Shout out to Seattle. Says that's not correct. Jesus had a hand in slavery, but they were not a major hand. Also, remember they were treated like, yeah. So I haven't made my claim yet. So I'm not making a claim that they were a major player. That's not even really my claim. I'm also focusing on her assertions that we hate Jews and we're not, or we've turned our backs on them, because I know we've been reading the books about the transatlantic slave trade, so we know that the Jews were not a major player, but they were a player. They did have a hand in the transatlantic slave trade, and I think that's what some of the people were trying to articulate. But that's how it goes. But I'm not saying that the people in this video are experts. That's why, and I'm not saying I'm an expert, but that's why we're here to give our thoughts on and break it down and see what's going on. That's not true. Only certain Jews helped. It was not the entitlement. It was not right. We know it wasn't the entire Jewish community. We understand that. And well, for the most part, black people as a whole don't have a beef with Jewish people. Not that I'm aware of. I know there are pockets of people and certain individuals who have beef with Jews, but black people as a whole, from my understanding, don't have a beef with Jewish people. I'm back, by the way. That's not the reason I don't F with them. I'm just saying they were involved in the insurance of our ancestors' property. Right. They're not, their hands are dirty. They have blood on their hands. They're not innocent in this. We're not saying that they were Portugal. We're not saying that they were Spain, but we are saying that they have blood on their hands, right? And we've been alive long enough. We have enough information from our scholars, our historians, our experts to show us that we don't have any real allies when it comes to other groups of people, ethnic groups or nationalities, whatever. We don't have allies. We have individuals who represent these groups, who have aligned themselves with us, right? We have individuals within these groups, but we're not talking about the masses of these groups being our allies. That hasn't happened. The Jewish community never speaks out against Bishop. So it's complex blackness. See, you coming down the same line. It's not our job to be the bodyguards for the rest of the world. It's not our job to be the bodyguards for other people who were oppressed or have been subjugated or have faced some kind of hardships from other groups of people, right? Just because other groups of people have faced disenfranchisement like we have faced doesn't mean it's our job to protect them en masse. But black people, we have a tendency to do that. And that's why a lot of people are mad at us now, because a lot of black people are waking up and saying, well, hey, we're always going to help other groups of people en masse, but other groups of people don't help us en masse. So, it's not our job to police or be the bodyguards for everybody else. Please hit that like button, y'all. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. One time for MD Williams. I appreciate you for tuning in. Remember, it was Ralph Bunch, a black man who helped the creation already. Y'all be careful, because they are watching and they do not like to be called out. Hey, their community never really comes up in the day-to-day conversation. Right. We don't have a beef with the Jewish community. We don't. once again, there may be individuals or groups who may have beef with the Jewish community, but we don't. Complex Blackness, you are exactly correct. We don't sit around talking about the Jewish community. We don't sit around complaining about the Jewish community. We don't do that. That's when we're talking about white supremacy and we're talking about other groups of people who may have oppressed us and all those things there. The Jews aren't the ones who come up on a regular basis, right? But they are a part of that. They do have a piece in that. Their hands are not clean. So let's jump back into the video because, well, let me say this. The brother who was rebuttaling the lady, sometimes we be trying to be nice. We be out here trying to be nice to people, man. And sometimes in trying to be nice, we don't tell the full truth, or we don't know all the information. So you're trying to be nice and you don't know all the information, and you're rebuttaling somebody and you're not necessarily getting your point across because you can't. So I thought the brother could have, like, that's not a time to try to be nice, right? She's not holding back on you. I'm not saying go out and be a butthole, but what I am saying is tell the truth and don't cut corners. It's one of our issues is we're always cutting corners when it comes to people, and they don't cut corners when it comes to us. Stop with all the morality stuff, and you got to meet people where they are. But let's jump back into it.
Not allowed to own property, not allowed to own property, not allowed to be in the professions. So way back in biblical times, who were the money counters? The Jews, because they were not allowed any other profession, and the church said you can't be the money lender, so the Jews were. Okay, when I was growing up, my parents didn't have a pot to piss in. What they taught us was you get educated, because wherever they throw you out, you take your brain with you. You take your education. So Jews became the lawyers, the doctors. You know, they didn't become farmers because we weren't allowed to loan any land. But look at the history. We couldn't own any.
You are talking to a group of black people, Gullah black people, or people who are on a Gullah tour, talking to a group of black people, telling us about what you couldn't own. You couldn't own land. We couldn't own our humanity. We're not the same. We're not the same in this country or even in the world. We're not the same. You couldn't own land. We couldn't own our own humanity. We couldn't even make our own decisions as human beings. Our autonomy was taken away from us. What are you talking about? Nobody's saying that your struggle doesn't matter. Nobody's saying that your history doesn't matter. Nobody's saying that your history should be degraded or downgraded. But you're talking to a group of people who were dehumanized. We were not allowed to be human beings. You got to cry to somebody else. You have to cry to somebody else. And then if the basis of her argument is, or the basis of her crying is, we turned our backs on them and we don't like them, your tears are false. It's rooted in lies. It's not true. We don't have beef with the Jewish community like that in mass. Most black people, as Complex Blackness said, most black people do not be thinking about Jewish people like that. We don't. But listen to more what she's saying, because she's just, she's just talking. How you doing, Diane? How you doing? They're going to get to that. Keep watching. They're going to get to that. They're going to get to that. That's why I showed this. They're going to get to that. So.
Property.
But I want to say one last thing to that point. We don't hate you. A lot of times now with the awakening, what he's explaining, we understand that it hasn't always been this friendly relationship with us. And
so where does it go now? So when we came during civil rights, when the Jews stood up, the first boys who came to the South were Jewish boys, all got killed. Where are you now when we have all this anti-Semitism?
Once again, you can't show us where your people showed up in solidarity with our people in mass. You have anecdotal examples. You have one-offs. You have the exceptions. We are appreciative of the exceptions, but the exceptions do not change the rule. Right? It's like us saying that white supremacy doesn't exist, or white supremacy died a long time ago because John Brown laid his life down for black people. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that white supremacy isn't real, or black people turned their backs on white supremacists because John Brown laid his life down for black people. Yes, some groups of people, well, all groups of people, every race, every ethnicity, nationality, whatever, all groups of people, I believe the majority of the people are good people. So you're going to have good people, right? But that doesn't mean all those good people necessarily make the best decisions in mass when it comes, especially to the interest of other groups. Most people protect their own interest as a group. I'm just saying. She reaching farther than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hitting a hook shot. What is she talking about? But she's in her feelings though, and she ain't thinking. She all up in her feelings and ain't thinking. But let's go though. Let's keep going.
Where are you standing up and watching our backs when we have all the same
Well, we kind of have our own issues, and we're kind of at a point in history now where we're like focused on us, because we realize a lot of entertainers who own the entertainment industry and the music industry, they all are Jewish people at the top. Hollywood.
What about your guy just now?
No, the rappers, I get it. No, I'm with you.
Just got
No, so this is my last point. I just want you to understand, we don't hate you. It's not, I don't ever want you to think our people hate you, but we're also at a point in time where we're learning so much, and we see what everybody has done, even the Jewish people.
even the Jewish people, all of us.
We see that now.
You guys got a shitty rap. There's no question.
Right. I learned that you guys own the most slave ships. Like, nobody talks about that though. Everybody talks about everything else. But what we're saying is, hey, we're going to focus on us. We're learning our information, and we're becoming the best version of ourselves because we've been down for over 400 years.
He's not the best. He's not doing the greatest job, like explaining things and all that. Now, I do want to go back to something she was saying earlier. She was saying that black people turned their back. One of her explanations for why she's saying black people turned their backs on the Jews was with the Black Lives Matter organization. And if you didn't hear earlier, most people like, nah, we're not down with Black Lives Matter. So the lady is being hypocritical and contradictory, right? Because she's saying, hey, you people don't like us as a whole because the actions of a few who were in Black Lives Matter. But the actions of a few Jewish people don't represent the actions of all Jewish people. I'm gonna let that marinate for a minute, right? Think about that, right? Because that's one of the things she's saying. Hey, we had a handful of Jewish people to come and help you guys with her civil rights movement example. She said, what about the two white guys that went down and helped, right? So if you're going to use that logic, right? If you're using that logic, hey, we had two Jewish people who went out and laid their lives, who had their lives taken away from them to help black people, two people. And this represents how we all operate. But hey, on the other hand, you had a group of people who were a part of the Black Lives Matter organization, and they did things, and their behavior represents the whole. Because you guys, all of you, turned your backs on this. And also going with the premise of, hey, we are obligated to fight their fight with them and for them. All these groups of people, but that lets you know how other groups of people see us. They're going to dictate to us what we do. They're going to dictate to us how we operate. We have to earn our respect as a group of people. We got to. Let the wood show the wood, hold the varnish. You heard me? What's going on, Battle Genja? How you doing? I appreciate you for tuning in. Her mouth is as inconsistent as Angel Reese making layups. I know I shouldn't have said that, but I said it. I said it. What's going on, music? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. When did they be? Well, clearly, all these other non-white groups of people, other groups of people who have been subjugated or colonized by white people, they're looking at us and saying, hey, it's you guys' job to save the world, even though you guys got the worst treatment of us all, but it's y'all job to save us. What? No. It's our job to save ourselves. But at the same time, we struggling to save ourselves. We're struggling to save ourselves, and it's our job to be the bodyguard. No, it's not our job to be the bodyguards for other people in the world. We're not doing that. You're a copycat, mocking the Israelites, but you don't have the spirit of the Most High God. They're going to get to that, Georgia. I promise they're going to get to that. They're going to get to that in this conversation. All non-black people are allied. Jason, thank you for tuning in. You know I appreciate you all the time, my brother. Drop them gems. Drop them gems. But let's get back into it, though.
And our life has been dimmed for a long time.
Well,
so
you're not going to rise up by stepping on us.
No, how are we stepping on y'all?
I got to stop it again right there. I know I got to stop it again right there because when I first saw that, she pissed me off. She pissed me off when she said that when I first watched it, because she's saying we're not going to rise up by stepping on them. No other group of people is assisting in any way of our rise. It's not happening. We're a competition to all other groups of people. But guess what? They rose by stepping on us. They stepped on us to get to where they're going. I'm just saying they stepped on us to get to where they're going. But we're not even thinking about them. Once again, they're not even on our minds. What is she getting this from? Like, what is she watching? What information is she coming across? Who's she talking to? Ah, man. And let's get back into it.
Do you think black people are hateful people? Let's be honest.
As a basic
400
people,
years, have we not
as a
taken
basic people, no, I don't.
Thank you. So I don't ever want you to feel like a narrative is that black people hate you.
I think at this time,
right?
At this time, when the anti-Semitism.
Where do you get that from? That we hate you?
Yeah,
where did that come from?
Black Lives Matter.
So Black Lives Matter is not us.
That's not us.
Black Lives Matter. That's those are lesbians. That is not. They took our name.
That's not us.
Somebody said something.
I said we get grouped in the Black
Lives Matter. That's
but she's the lady is either ignorant or she's intentionally being disingenuous. Once again, that lady looked like she's over the age of 50. She looked like she's over the age of 50. So you mean to tell me in all her time she don't understand that the actions of a few don't represent the whole of the group? So black people don't like Jews because of Black Lives Matter, but she never explained what about Black Lives Matter, right? She never explained that. So Black Lives Matter represents all of Black America is what she's saying. So does a group of degenerate Jews represent all Jews? I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I just want to make sure the logic is consistent. That's all I want to do, right? We don't have no beef with the Jewish people, right? Not the masses of black people, the masses of Black America don't have beef with Jewish people. But the masses of Black America, like one of the people said, is you have more and more people who their light switch is coming on and they're realizing the power or the necessity and the importance of taking care of yourself, taking care of home first. If I can't save myself, how the hell can I save you? Answer that question for me, lady. If I can't save me, how the hell can I save you? And how are we, what ability do we have to step on some other group who have more resources, access to more resources, more capital, more land, more power than we do? How are we stepping on them? And she gives no explanations because she's all in her feelings. And that's the thing. Like, don't go wagging your finger at us and painting a broad brush of us because you're in your feelings, because something you probably misunderstood. She's most likely misunderstood something at her big age. And then at her big age, she's also acting like she don't understand how individuals operate versus groups. That's crazy. I'll take the intention. Yes. For 500 million. Shoot, she done got me mad. Our biggest mistake was brown and red and yellow. We should have only been. Yeah, Dr. Claude Anderson talk about that all the time. See, Jason be out here dropping these gems on us, man. Dr. Claude Anderson talk about that all the time. We put other groups' interests ahead of ours. We always want to be a part of other people's stuff, and we're always trying to make them a part of ours. I'm not going to the cookout. I'm telling you right now, it's too many of others at the cookout. Too many, everybody else have been invited to the cookout. We invite anybody to the cookout who makes us feel good by doing trivial things. You see how they look? You see how other people see us? You see how other people think about us, and we sitting here trying to invite everybody to the cookout. I'm not going. I'm not going to the cookout. I swear I'm not. I just had to educate a room of Asian, Latino, and white neurologists and nurses at the UW last week about their racial abuse of 66-year-old sister with a blood clot name. Get them, Battle Genja. Get them. Get them. Get them. Don't let them get away with that bull. That's what I'm talking about. We got to stand up for our own. We have to take care of our own. I can't help you if I can't help me. Now, Black people, we're loving people. We're open people. So we help others. I can't help it. I can't help it. If a human being is in need of help, I'm going to help them. But at the same time, I understand group dynamics. I understand that if I can't help myself, I can't help others. Like my man Sam Carter said, we don't need no more broke people out here trying to help other broke people. We both can't be broke trying to not be broke. We don't have the information that keep us from being broke. We got to be smart. Shout out to you too, Ricardo. I always appreciate you tuning in. You're a real one. Thank you. Agreed, brother. I'm telling you. We ain't going for it. Gwendolyn, we are not going for the bull. I send you the audio. Please do. Please do. Please do. Remember, my email is ontheshoulders1@gmail.com. Let me put it in the chat. Oh, wrong one. Oh, good. All right, that's and remember, if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, you have any type of platform, anything you're doing online in your community, anything positive that you're doing, anything progressive that you're doing, put your information in the chat, man. Put it in the chat so we can support each other. This is a community. Look, one of my main goals is to build community. Wherever I go, I build community. I want all of us to be able to connect and work together. We can help each other better if we work together. So whatever you're doing, whatever you got going on, put it in the comments. Nemesis X. What's up, Nemesis, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. What's going on, man? I'm glad you up in here. I ain't seen you in a hot minute, man. I'm glad you back, my brother. Peace and blessings. Yes. So let's get back in it.
Yeah.
We feel the same way. We feel the same way that you do. We feel the same way that you do. Why are we?
But then understand this.
Go ahead, honey.
I don't mean to cut you off, but understand this. The Black Lives Matter is ran by a white man.
Yeah, owns it.
He owns Black
George
Lives
Soros.
Matter.
Oh my God. Oh, we gotta find him.
No, we don't. We don't.
We don't
Think
find
about it.
nobody. We gotta find nobody.
So, ma'am, I want you to understand, if you start doing, like, just the research behind this stuff, like you mentioned Black Lives Matter, and you kind of grouped us all in that. Like, this
we're not.
Well, you said that Black Lives Matter is hateful and they hate Jewish people. Why do they hate them? We don't hate them. We hate that you took Black Lives Matter, took our essence,
like they always
created
do,
the organization, and then funded yourself and created millionaires off of it, and wasn't off of our hurt and pain. So a lot of times, what you realize with the music, movies, Black Lives Matter, they take our essence, because guess what? Guess who has the strongest essence around the world? Our moral fiber, what we've been through, they look at Black America.
And guess who own all that?
Yep.
The Jewish people.
I don't know any of that.
But the industry, our talent is music. We are natural orchestrators of music, of movies, the way we present on the screen. Guess who owns those industries?
The Jewish.
Do you know how?
So, yes, great point they're making, but great point Jason Reels made, right? We do have to take responsibility and our part for always voting in people who don't have our best interest just because they say stuff that make us feel good, or because they're not Trump, or because they're not Republican. Look, and I'm not saying that to say go vote for the other side. My stance has always been and always will be, they need to earn our votes. We need to forget all the parties. Hey, we are a block vote. If you want these votes, you want these 40 million votes, this is what we want. And if we don't get what we want, you don't get these votes. That's how we roll. Because you have to work in our interests. If you don't work in our interests, you're not getting any votes. Votes are earned. So Jason, yes. But they're talking about the George Soros and the Black Lives Matter and everything. And we did find out that the organization was, had the connections to George Soros as far as the funding connections. And we know the fallout of Black Lives Matter. We know that Black Lives Matter took that money and ran. Shout out to Candace Owens for pulling up on Patrice Cullors at the house that Black Lives Matter brought with the money from the people, right? Candace Owens need to pull up on Umar. We might have to talk about Umar next week, but Candace Owens need to pull up on Umar. You know what I'm saying? But we all understand what happened with that. The lady's disingenuous tirade. Well, first of all, she can go to hell with all that bull that she's talking, because it's a emotional tirade that's full of babble and inconsistencies, no real logic into it. Just, well, you don't like this and you don't like that because you did this and you did that, man, and giving us some real examples. Well, Black people don't like us because Black Lives Matter. Like, when Black people stand up for ourselves, everybody else have a problem with it. Because we should only stand up for them. We should only stand up for other groups of people. We should never stand up for us. That's what she's saying. We are obligated to stand up for other people. We're not obligated to stand up for ourselves, because who stands up for themselves? Come on, man. MD, she know what time it is. She playing ignorant. Either she playing ignorant, or she need to sit it down. Bruh. Nemesis, man, I appreciate you. You've been a long time subscriber of this channel. I truly appreciate you. Thank you. They have convinced us that our interest is a yes. Support everything that's not you, because that's going to get you to the top, because the rising tide raises all boats. But we ain't got no damn boats. And if we do got boats, they got holes in it. And if we do got boats that's better than theirs, they burn them down. All other groups are able to take care of themselves and look out for themselves, but we're the only group that's obligated to look out for everybody else. Miss me with all of that. Miss me with that. See, that's why I'm an advocate for like real, authentic Black masculinity. right? We need real black men in our community to be standing up, standing proud, and standing strong, and helping to get our community back in order, right? And those black men need to be paired with great black women, because we need each other. We need each other, and we need to come together and create communities, neighborhoods, children that will help carry on a positive and a great legacy that takes Black America into a positive future for ourselves, and not a future that is clouded with ideas of, if we don't help anybody else, we're going to be on the wrong side of history because Dr. King said this and Dr. King said that. They're always quoting the young Dr. King. Quote Dr. King before he passed. Quote his last couple speeches. Do that for me, would you? Damn. Let's go.
That Broadway, that whole thing came about why the Jews sent in there, how the Jews started that industry.
I'm not sure.
Was it on? Well, check it out. It's really interesting stuff.
But do you get what I'm saying? As far as you guys
but hold on.
But
because,
the true Jews,
right,
what we need to understand here, the true Jews is this color.
Right.
The Jewish, the ish, that's y'all. That's not us. The true original Jews is in the Bible.
Jewish.
Right.
Okay, so that's the fake Jews. Those the Ashkenazis. That's over there.
I'm the Ashkenazi.
Okay.
Right.
So y'all the fake Jews.
So when I first saw this, she went straight in on it, and I was like, well, first, shout out to that sister. Her skin is amazing. Like, her skin is glowing like a mug. She got that good melanin popping over there, right? But then she just went straight in. Y'all not the real ones. We the real ones. So that takes me back to a lot of the information that Dr. Ben Yakinen gave us, right? Because Dr. Ben Yakinen, if I remember correct, he said he's Falasha Jew. He said it was a Falasha Jew from Ethiopia. And we do know like the black history of Judaism and the culture and the religion, how it came out of Ethiopia, and then it spread from there. And so and I looked up, George Soros is he was a Jew from, I think, Poland. Let me see. From Hungary. They say he was born into a Jewish family from Hungary, right? So we're talking about different sects of Jews, different groups of Jewish people. And then learning the difference between what they call the Hebrews, the Jews, all those different distinctions, being able to understand that. But Dr. Ben taught us about that a while ago. And if you read his books and listen to his lectures, Dr. Ben goes in extensively on the history of Judaism, especially, giving his perspective, being from Ethiopia and being born into the Falasha traditions, right? So we do have historical information to show about the differences when it comes to people classifying themselves as either Hebrew Israelite, Jew, Jewish, all those different things, right? So we do understand that information does exist and we can't find that information. And the lady did admit that she was Ashkenazi. The sapiosexuals always circumvented our movements, as well as the PNW, LA, and ATL led to, as I call, weird Negroes play on the white sociological hands. Yep. But let's get back into it. Let's let the sister with the good skin give her the business.
I'm the Ashkenazi.
Yeah, you the fake Jew.
You know the first Jewish people were in Ethiopia, if I'm not mistaken.
I do know. And when I was my last trip to Israel, we were with they're not an Ethiopian family anymore because they emigrated to Israel.
Right.
Good friends of ours. We spent the day with them. They happen to be very sadly. Yeah. They're building when the Israel attack October 7th last year. Their building was fired into. Fortunately, none of them were hurt. But no, it's very much a part of
our history.
So we don't hate you. So I don't want you to.
Will be trodden down by the Gentiles.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so he also said that there will be no peace over there.
Yeah.
Until he comes, there will be no peace. Has it been peace over there? No, it has not. Because why? Because the real Jews are not there.
Yeah.
Well, I would debate you there.
No, it's no debate. That's scripture.
Well, that's scripture. All right, but you know that the King James Bible is not an authentic translation.
Yeah, because y'all took out. Y'all took away.
That's right. So we
Not
do.
an authentic. If you go to the
Amharic. I know. So wait. So check it out.
Translate the word. It is not what you.
You're right. The King James is not. That's right.
There's a lot of major issues with it.
So check it out. 1948. The Jewish state, 1948, right?
Yeah.
So Jewish. They're from, Netanyahu is from Poland.
Yeah.
He's Polish.
Yeah.
So they're not from the land.
That's right.
Most of the people in Israel.
I've been trying to figure out how she ended up on this Gullah tour with them, and how did this conversation start? That's what I want to know. There's a link to the YouTube channel to the Gullah. I think it's Gullah Tours YouTube channel. Link to the YouTube channel is in the description. I'm just trying to. How did she even become a part of this tour and just hijack the whole tour with her little white woman tears? What is going on, man? That's why when we did the episode, when we did our Friday breakdown on Black fatigue, and Pat came out talking about WWF, which stands for white women fatigue. This is what he was talking about. This is what Pat was talking about when we were talking about white women fatigue, because white women, they act like they're your allies, but their tears have caused more destruction than anything. Oh man. As much as I appreciate talking about the first Jew and all of that, you have to learn the lesson. European stuff. It's not about who's on the throne first. Well, we're having a hard time learning that lesson, right? And I appreciate that comment, because I want us to be authentic and real and have a real full picture of what's going on, right? You're right. It's not about who there was first. It's about who's on the throne currently, right? You're right. And that's why we got to get back on the throne. That's why it's important for us to come together and work together and unify as a group of people. Nemesis, man, you on time with that one.
From diaspora.
That's right.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Right.
So
to be there because it was safer.
So understand what you're saying. So the land that they took was already.
It belonged to Israel.
So when you say. So when you say.
It's always been Hebrew land.
So when you say it belonged to Israel.
Well.
Israel not Israeli.
Yeah.
So Jews and Jewish.
Yeah.
It's two different
when you
words,
say
two
Jewish.
So
you are Jewish. You're right about that. Jewish.
That's right.
Ish.
So
I don't know that I make that.
So I understand. So again. So Netanyahu came from Poland.
Yeah.
So Poland is his home.
It's not his home.
So
as a Jew, my home, my heartland, my history is Israel.
okay.
Even though I've lived here.
So because whenever you can do a blood DNA test in Israel today. It's illegal to test your blood because yes, it is. This is a fact. Hold on. Netanyahu and all of those Jewish people are not from that land. They are from Poland, Russia. So hold on. To be a Jew, you have to be from the land. They came and took the land from the people. That's why the war. Am I right?
Man, where were you guys at before 1948? Where?
Another great point by Nemesis. But hold on, Anika. Right, we're not thinking about Jewish people like that. We're not. They're not on our mind like that. We don't rent space. They don't rent space in our minds like that. Clearly, black people have so much space in that lady's mind, but they're not in our mind like that. But this comment, you're right. See, and this comment is why we do our Friday breakdowns, right? Because when I always talk about if black people had a superhero, if we had a superhero that represent us, the two main powers would be talking junk, having good clapbacks, and resilience. We're very resilient people, but we do talk too much. And we find so much solace in having the last word, or having the best word, having the best clapback, or hurting somebody's feelings. We do. And yes, we can correct people when they spewing like incorrect history. But as Nemesis said, we got to be working to do something about what we're doing. And that's the thing too, at the end of the day, we're going to talk about it, but what are we going to do about it? And if we ain't going to do nothing about it, we got to shut up. We got to. They are the perpetrators of the world's biggest fraud and case of identity theft and genocides, and got the nerve to get mad when we're called out and the truth comes. But that's what frauds do. That's what they do. Because yeah, it's not them, it's us. It's not them, it's never them. It's us. I ask you, Joseph, to Google and read off the definition of invasive species to everyone. All right, I'll do it.
Well, there were Jewish people in that land.
Not Jewish.
But remember that the Jews had been thrown out of the land and taken as slaves.
The original
Slaves. Stop right there. Stop right there. Taken as slaves. Taken as
slaves and dispersed. We had the diaspora.
That's
the original out.
What you just said. What you just said, taking as slaves. What your people.
So when you say that Netanyahu, for instance, Polish,
right,
or from Poland,
right,
our roots were it's always in that land, Judea. That land has always been our roots.
So again,
we were dispersed elsewhere, and some are coming back.
So wait, stop. White people are not from that white. You can't handle the light, the sun. That was black people were there.
Well, you know, but that gets bred out over time.
So we are still again.
Come on. So, all right, look at the colors in this. Look
right.
at the variety.
That's right. That's right.
Look at the variety. You're much lighter. Look at the variety, and we know blacks right you are as intermarried.
Ma'am, can I
but
just
the
say
Jews
something?
had the same thing.
Ma'am, we understand your pain, but we're trying to figure out all. Like driving through this. That's a hurtful, painful history for and us that didn't know our history. So we understand what you're going through, but we've been going through it
all our life.
So, I got you all are the greatest. I have the greatest audience in YouTube history. So, invasive species. Because he asked the definition of invasive species. So invasive species are non-native plants, animals, or other organisms that thrive in an environment outside of their natural range, causing or likely to cause harm to the environment, the economy, or human, animal, or plant health. They can displace native species, degrade habitats, and disrupt ecosystems, i.e. white supremacy. So yeah.
This might be getting to you right now.
Thank you, my brother.
It's been affecting my grandparents.
We didn't even know.
You know, okay, so really, well, here I am on the tour.
So you can imagine what we're feeling.
Did you come to the tour to like genuinely learn the history, or to come to have a conversation?
I have a really good friend.
Okay.
No, that was not.
Okay.
I have a really good friend in Savannah who I've come to visit a number of times. Don't you go? And he was your superintendent of schools. Because of me, I got him started there. We've been friends for 45 years.
Okay.
When I go to visit him, we go to a lot of the Gullah sites for the island, a lot of the places. I thought when I started this tour that it would be more like that.
Oh.
This was very eye-opening. This was, a lot to think about. A lot to think about as you go around. And you're right, when you see it, you're not going to be able to see it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm glad the rest of my family didn't come with me on this, because I think it would be I think it would be overwhelming. Too much? Yeah, overwhelming.
So just imagine for us that had to live through it, our ancestors and everything, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, he said
is, the truth will, will hurt.
Anyway, thank you for letting me come along.
It hurts me.
Thank you for engaging.
Wow. You're welcome.
Yeah, no,
that was amazing.
Invasive species. Get that invasive species up out of here, right? Accountability. They're lacking accountability. It's not us, it's everybody else. Y'all had involvement too. We're not, nobody's saying you were Spain, Portugal, England, or Belgium, but you had involvement as well, especially in the transatlantic slave trade. And then, I heard Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, and other historians talk about the Jewish slave trade that happened. Because the African continent, from my understanding, the African continent, like major slave trades or significant slave trades, the Arabic slave trade, which is still going on today, the Jewish slave trade, and the transatlantic slave trade, right? And we're talking about slave trades that took people and resources outside of Africa. There was indentured servitude within the continent of Africa. There were prisoners of war within the continent of Africa, but a person's humanity was still intact. Slavery existed in the world before the transatlantic slave trade. We talked about the Arabic slave trade, but for the most part, a person's humanity was still intact. That changed with the advent of chattel slavery in the 1600s. Some Jews own slaves. I'm not gonna sit here and paint the picture because I don't have the information to paint that picture. All the information I've come across said that Jews have had a hand in it, not necessarily the major players, but they made significant gains from the slave trade that helped those individuals and helped the families of those individuals and those who were connected with those individuals. So yes, you have blood on your hands and you are a part of this as well. I saw this, she was trying to, man, that lady can go on, man. Go on. It's not our job to sit around and wait on somebody. Like they put the back sitting up in there. Black people, you got to come save us. Save you from what? So what happens when we need it? Where y'all at? Where you at, lady? Where are you, lady? Specifically you. Where are you when we need it? Where you at? Because I can guarantee you she ain't out there. You can tell us everybody else who out there, but you can't tell us that you've been out there. Look, man, if you really want to be on the right side of history, I always tell people this, right? First of all, if you want to help another another individual, another group of people, ask them the best way to help them. And then do what they tell you to do. And then show up and be consistent. And on the other hand, no other group of people are obligated to help you and your people. The world is built off of competition between the groups of people. And other groups of people will use your ignorance against you, like our ignorance have been used against us here in the United States. And all other groups' needs will be met, except ours. Ask us about it. Black Americans know about that. We know a lot about that. Helping everybody else. And we still can't help ourselves. That's crazy. She thinks we're supposed to allow them to. We not doing that. We're not doing that. We've never done that, and we're not doing that now. Don't take our goddamn kindness for weakness. And we're not ignorant. Right. One thing our elders keep missing, but our job now is the constant overlap within the socio-political system of white supremacy. Yeah, like yes. We often overlook that from all perspectives of combat. We don't, because me and my girl was having, me and Tiffany was having this conversation, right? Because I'm always telling her about, at the end of the day, if you don't have might, if you don't have power, you don't have respect, you don't have a means to put yourself in a position of power. And that's not to say you go out and be the bully of the world, but to understand how to deal with bullies. And if somebody run up, you make sure you send them home either send them home with their tail tucked or you send them home on their shield. And when it comes to military science and all these things here, we lack in that so much because, you know, especially if you grew up in predominantly black areas and you had a few white people and black people will whoop on the white people, or we'll see the fights and black people be whooping on white people. We think, yeah, black people can whoop everybody, until we start to see in the larger picture that we've been getting whooped on, and the majority of us been getting whooped on for a long time because we're missing this right here. Because it's all about morals. It's all about treating people right, and love. And love will change everything. Trying to love your enemy gonna get your ass whooped. Tell you that. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Read the book, Jewish Autonomy in the Slave Society. Will do. Will do. I appreciate the book reference. I appreciate that. Jew finance. Yep. We know. We know. These theoretical theories we keep dragging around keep us really getting things right. We talk too much. We talk too dang on much. Of course, because the Africa has what the rest of the world needs to thrive. Eventually, when it comes to us versus anyone else, they have infrastructure. We don't. We are allowed to use other. And that's what happens when you are solely dependent upon other people for what you need. Being dependent upon other people for what you need will always keep you in the subservient position. How can you really empower yourself or really put yourself where you need to be if you are dependent upon other people, especially dependent upon people who have a history of subjugating you? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to expect the people who have subjugated you to empower you. It doesn't work like that. You're right. Love don't change yet. We've been doing that love for a long time, and it's only gotten worse. Black people, David Banner said this, and Professor Carl Tone Jones said this. Black people are in an abusive relationship with white supremacy, and we don't want to get out. Because, yeah, they knock our ass around, but we believe we get more benefit from the abusive relationship than we get our ass whooped. Even though we're always complaining about getting our ass whooped, we won't give up the supposed benefits to keep ourselves safe from the ass whoopings. And because to become a powerful group of people, you got to be willing to start from the bottom and build a solid foundation from the ground up. And we got to build it back. You're right. They did burn it down. They burnt down a lot of what we had, but we have to build it back. Because it's the analogy that I use. If I come into your house and I spill a glass of milk in your house on your carpet and I leave, at the end of the day, I spilled it, but it's your house and you got to clean it up. And we have to understand, yeah, they spilled the milk, but we got to clean it up. We have to. Why do you think on the right, that Smithsonian Museum, the African American Culture and History Smithsonian Museum in DC, I visited the museum, and it was underwhelming. It was a lot of whitewashed history in there. Yeah, a lot of whitewashed history up in there. So, but you know, they can't tell the real deal though, you know what I'm saying? And they tell the real deal, then they be telling them themselves. That's why they burn our infrastructure. Exactly. Competition. Burn down all competition. Their survival has been based off of us, and our survival has been based off of them. Symbiotes versus parasites. We're the symbiotes, they're the parasites. The invasive species, as Battle Genja. That's what we're going to start calling them, invasive species. I witnessed many doctrines get ignored by those who armed colonial authorization, kick ass, and deal with legal repercussions later. I'm just saying it. It's out there. Using the same analogy, they spilled the milk. We let them back in the house to spill the milk again. I'm talking about, and then they come right back and take a piss in the house. And we keep letting them back in our house to destroy our house because we keep inviting them to the cookout. Despite all of the ways that they treat us, the history, we still let them in the cookout. They get the spilled milk, piss on our floor, boo-boo on our floor, literally shit on us. And we still try to befriend them. Crazy. To any black people don't love ourselves and seek white approval. If we value blackness the way white people value whiteness, I'm telling you, look, Dr. Joy DeGruy talks about that vacant esteem that we have. We have vacant individual esteem and vacant group esteem. In mass, not all of us, not us on this channel, not us, but a lot of black people, vacant individual esteem and vacant group esteem. Self-love will grow out to group love. Racism is a team sport. Whether you like it or not, it's a team sport. And we see all the other teams, see what they're doing. They're squadding up. We're trying to be on everybody else's squad. It's a team sport. Further than that, by the time we reach this point, we don't even. They done took it. They done took it. But I'm about to go ahead and wrap this thing up. It's been a long day for me. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. Once again, thank you. I'm going to give a big shout out to Mr. Sam Carter, my brother Wallace Ward, Mr. Clint Cunningham for inviting me and my Black History School out to the Gaston County Airport, the Quincy Airport this morning. Clint Cunningham is a black pilot, and he taught the kids a lot about aviation and even took them up in the sky on plane rides and allowed them to see the city from the plane, and even allowed them to fly the plane. So one of the things in my Black History School I'm doing is exposing the students to as many different things as possible, and then teaching them the Black history behind it. I want them to have all the options that they can have to be as successful as possible. So thank you to Sam, thank you to Wallace, thank you to Clint, and thank you to everybody who helps, who support the Black History School. Thank you to Stacy, thank you to Sam, everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I also want to give a big shout out to my homie, Maurice Love and Simone. Just went to the baby shower. They're having twins. My brother's having twins, and I'm so happy and I'm so proud of him, and I'm just excited. It's a lot of great things going on in my life, and I hope a lot of great things are going on in your life. And let's remember, while we're talking about it, let's be about it. Let's make sure we're connecting with each other. Let's make sure we're exchanging information. Put your information, whatever you're doing. If you're doing something, we can support you. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments so we can support each other. I want to make sure that we build a community of love and support. Let's do that. Integration was about white people wanting to control black people and monitor your progress and success so they can absorb it, because they know that we do better without them already. Oh, really? Already. My bad. Black people let them back in the house. White people let you crazy, Troy. The scorched earth policy is something we need to understand, period. But again, that psycho-emotional attachment to them, the mythological, right? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Candace Owens can go somewhere else. What do you do about it? We need to focus on the youth and YN and all the little ones. Dr. Umar need to open up that school, though. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's hold it. Let's hold him accountable as well. He need to open up that school, and he need to stay out them scandals. He do need to do that. We need to hold each other accountable. We can't allow black people to scam and just run amok amongst other black people either. We can't complain about them, but allow us to do that to ourselves. We can't do that either. So we need to focus on the youth. We do. Let's raise and empower our youth. Appreciate your position in either, but some of what we do, yep. We can't just let black people just be rolling around doing anything. Dr. Umar, can be corrected and subject to punishment as well. He need to step his game up. He need to do better. Open up the school. Also look to learn how to swim. Yep. They purposely didn't want us to know how to swim. So Troy West, Nemesis X, Trade, Rally 4, Anika Corbett, Battle Genja, Oh Really, I say JJ, Cheryl, Gwendolyn Scott. If I didn't say Troy West, I say Troy West again. Big Bro, MD Williams, DG, ITN, Anika Corbett. If I didn't say your name again. Gwendolyn Scott, Logical Black, Tiffany, Jason Reels Network. Who else? I don't want to forget nobody. Ricardo Float, Georgia Robinson. I appreciate you. Music. Who else? Diane Green, Complex Blackness, Chisel Chipper 68. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in to this On the Shoulders with Giants Live. You know, we're gonna be back next Saturday. Thank you for checking out all of our videos. Make sure you check out the Friday breakdown from yesterday, or where the professor, his claim was that consumerism is the perfection of slavery. So we broke that down, and just check out everything that we have on the channel that's coming up. I love you all. Make sure y'all catch the next video coming up. Make sure you have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your weekend, and see y'all next time. Shout out to Sir for your comment. I appreciate you, and we see y'all next time. Peace.